Hey everybody, it's Mike Bruning. Welcome to the Film Cage. And I just took my Part 107 remote pilot exam, and I'm happy to say that I got 100% on it. And here's the score right there. And I'm really psyched about this, and I just want to share in this video what I did to prep for the exam, and hopefully that'll help you out when you take it. So the first thing I did, and I think what is the most important thing to do, is to really put in a lot of time studying. And for me, I spent about 5 weeks prepping for it. There's a ton of information to learn, and I just feel like I really wanted to understand it. And I know that's what the FAA wants from us too. That's why they make us study all this crazy stuff that, really is for a pilot. And so I wanted to be in that same spot where, like, I really understood what a sectional chart is. I understood what a METAR is. I understood how to read a TAF report. I understood latitude and longitude. So that's why I spent 5 weeks like prepping for this. And as you can see here, I've got this is the just back of the material that I used. I went to the FAA website and downloaded, all the documentation they have, like this. And I printed it all out. And I like to print things out. And one of the big reasons I do that is because I like to just like write on things. I like to take notes. I like to underline stuff. I find that writing, increases retention. And so not only would I read through all this stuff, but I would write on it. I would take notes. And then I also basically like filled up this like entire notebook. You can see here, I mean, it's just pages of notes, pages. So for me, it was just like getting all of this information into my brain. It was like I had to just go over it and over and over it again until it just became second nature and I was completely familiar with it. So I did that. And then one of the other really big things that helped me succeed was I took an online course. And I know not everyone wants to take an online course or pay for it, but I did not want to fail this test. I really wanted to pass it. I didn't want to have to take it again. So I wanted to increase my odds of, having the best chance of passing. The course I took is called Peltier Photo Courses. I'll put a link below if you're interested in taking the course. And I highly do recommend it because it is broken down into several sections.
You're going to love weather too and be able to figure out what it means for you as a drone pilot,
where you really learn in depth everything you need to know. And one of the great things about this course is that at the end of each section, there's a practice quiz. And you can take this practice quiz as many times as you want. And so that's what I would do. I would take it over and over and over until I scored 100% all the time. And then finally, when you're finished with the entire course, there's a practice exam, which is 60 questions, just like the one you'll be taking for the FAA Part 107. So that was really important to me because then I felt like I was really gearing up for taking this test. And you got to retake it as many times as you want. And so I swear I took that practice exam about 50 times. And finally I was, getting 90s, 95, 99, 100. And when I get 100 a few times, I felt super confident. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to pass this test. So another thing I got was this 2023 test prep book, and I highly recommend getting this as well. It's very detailed. There's also many practice questions, and I find these to be the most invaluable resource you could have, is that you're going to get to quiz yourself. You get to test yourself on your knowledge. It also includes the Airman Knowledge Testing Supplement, and this has the legend and, sectional charts, and everything you're going to need in here, METARs. These are the same sectional charts that you're going to use on the exam when you go in for the exam. So it is actually good to have this. That's another reason why I like to have a book like that, because they'll say, go to figure 25, and you'll have to flip to that book. Well, if you've already had the book, you know where everything is. So you flip to it real easy. So when you're taking the test, you're not confused as to where to look. You've already memorized all this stuff, and you know where to go. So another big thing I did was, after about 4 weeks or so, getting around the 5th week, I felt like, well, I really should take this thing. I can't, there's no more I can study if it's now or never. So I booked the exam, and I booked it for a Monday night. So, because what I wanted to do was give myself the previous Saturday and Sunday to just put in a final, just massive cram session. So I spent all day Saturday and all day Sunday just studying like crazy and just, again, taking those practice tests over and over and over again. So then I also had Monday to prepare for a few hours. Went into the test. My test was at 6 o'clock at night. Get there about a half hour early. They sign you in, they check you in. You got to put all your stuff into like a little locker. You can't bring anything in, wallet, keys, phone, nothing like that. Then they supply you with the test book. They'll give you like a calculator. They'll give you a couple other things like a marker and a like piece of paper to, like if you need to measure stuff or write stuff out. So they give you all the materials. You go in, you sit down at your computer, you do a little warm up practice test. It's a really simple interface. You sit down, you take the test, and I'm telling you, if you're fully prepped, the test is going to fly by, and you'll just breeze through the questions because you'll feel so confident and ready to go. So what I feel like was really important was putting in those 5 weeks of prep and like just really learning all the different material because everyone's exam is going to be different. Mine, I had a lot of sectional chart stuff on there. I've heard people, some people have a ton of weather questions, reading METARs. Some people had a lot of longitude and latitude. So every test is going to be different. And that's why I really recommend you really over prep yourself to do this. You study like crazy, you learn the sectional charts, you can pick them apart, you learn how to read a METAR, you learn the TAF, you just learn as much as you can before you go in. And believe me, if I can do it, you can do it. Just give yourself a lot of prep time and you'll knock it out of the park. Good luck, guys. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments or email me at mike@thefilmcage.com.